Hi guys, we're here with the Ultimate Racing League for round 3, race 2. Now obviously you saw race 1 earlier, hopefully you watched race 1. It was a brilliant race, and yeah, it was basically a brilliant race. So anyway, they are still obviously at Daytona road course, but this race obviously they have got to run the mediums and hards, so there will be a mandatory pit stop. They are still in the LDR8, and so yeah, it was, so obviously let's go down to the grid. They were in a reversed order, based off the previous result. So that's live. We're going to start on pole after running out of fuel right at the end, resulting in them finishing all the way at the back. So we'll start second, and let's have a look while I'm doing it. So obviously, life starts on mediums, on pole. Sign second starts on hards. Brian Mechanic starts on mediums in third. Rossi fourth on hards. Fraser fifth, hards. Hoggy sixth, hards. Brownie seventh, hards. Willard 8th hards, Nando 9th hards, Izumi Dan hards in 10th, Kenny on hards in 11th, 12th is Guy on hards, P1 is 13th on hards, and Tidders, he obviously, P1 obviously the race 1 winner, but obviously Tidders, he lagged out towards the beginning of the race, within the first couple of laps I think it was. So he is back, thankfully. He was able to fix the car and get it going again. So he obviously has to start at the back, unfortunately. So anyway, let's get this race on the way, and hopefully this race will go as well as race 1. Okay, 4 lights, 5 lights, 6 lights. And it's away they go. They all got off the start line without an issue. As they come in towards the corner. Hopefully everyone can get around without an issue. Yes, they can. Everyone got around without any issue whatsoever. Tidders has had a great start. He's already up to 11th spot, but he has picked up half-second penalty there, so that's very unfortunate for him there. So who's that just gone off? Someone's just gone off. Look like I was sure someone just gone off then. Oh yeah, I think it was the phaser. Oh, we did. The phaser got it all wrong. As it comes down. Yeah, he went out too wide, hitting the grass. So he didn't spin it. He kept it the right way around, but it dropped him all the way down to the back, so unfortunately for him. So anyway, that's life, who is leading. He has currently opened up a gap to Brian Mechanic there, who's second. And Sumi Dan there in third. He's had a brilliant start, considering he finished in third. Well, fourth I think it is, but he has had a brilliant start. He's up to second already on lap 1, but he is on the hard tyres as well. So that's life. They're in the lead on the mediums. Brian Mechanic there, who's on the mediums as well. That makes it even better. You see me Dan on the hards. He's managed to get up to second spot, but Brian Mechanic is coming back, trying to fight for that second spot here. Oh, Dan went up a bit wide there, but so did Bry. So Bry wasn't able to capitalize, but meanwhile, while that's going on, Side got the corner right, and he is right behind them now. These two are side by side. Bry and Dan are side by side. Dan is just ahead. Bridal Mechanics up the inside. Oh, they are still side by side. Bridal Mechanic is just ahead. It's not letting Dan go. He's not letting Dan go. Not letting. Oh, so now Dan is back past again. This is basically medium tyres versus hard tyres at the moment. So he's down to have second place, but he's now got VSI chasing him down to try and get past here. You got Rossi there in 5th place with Brownie there in 6th. The Kenny there in 7th. The Tidders there in 8th now. The Willard there in 9th with the P1 there in 10th. So compared to Tidders who started at the back, the anti P1 has not had as good a start as the others have. Then you got the Nando there in 11th with the Phaser there in 12th, the Hoggy there in 13th, and the Sky there in 14th. It's not had a great lap her Sky with a 2 minutes 2 current lap. But his back three have all had the same issue. I think they've gone off for 1 point because their worst lap is, it doesn't really matter what their worst lap is, but anyway. So anyway, lap 3 got the life there. He's in the lead with a purple sector at the moment. With a 1:48.8, he has got the fastest lap at the moment. Coming through the bus stop chicane once again for the 3rd time. And you can see that Usain Bolt is closing that gap down on him gradually. So that just says how quick Dan is, because as life is on the mediums, he's fastest up in the 1:48.6, whereas you see me Dan has just set the fastest up on the hards on 1:48.2. So it shows how quick the Dan is. So he's sort of dropped the Bry there. Oh, the Bry is cut. Oh, what's happened to the Bry here? Coming around this corner. Oh, he gets that all wrong and spinsy winsies. So that's a shame there for the Bry. It's going to push him all the way down to 12th now. So now the Sign's all on his own in 3rd spot. Well, he has the Tidders just down the road from him, not too far away from him in 4th. The Tidders is going to want to make as many points possible in this race, since obviously he didn't manage to finish race 2. At the moment he's doing quite well because he started at the back and he's all the way up to 4th spot. So he's having a brilliant race as so far. You got the Rossi there. He's got the Willard right behind him, and he's got the Willard. Looks like he's struggled through the bus stops again there a little bit. That's going to give P1 the perfect opportunity here to. They're both on hard tyres. There's no advantage. It's going to give P1 the perfect opportunity to try and go for a pass here. Definitely looks like he's looking for it. Was able to keep P1 behind him for the time being. So there's this long trial here, so 6th, 7th, 8th. You have the Kenny right behind P1 there, looking to try and get past the P1 here. Kenny on the inside. They're side by side, the P1 and the Kenny. But the P1 keeps Kenny behind him for the time being, but Kenny is coming back at him. So the Kenny's made a move. The Kenny is past the P1. Oh, Kenny was ahead of him anyway. The Phaser there in 9th. He's been chased down by the Hoggy. The Nande there in 11th. The Bry there in 12th. The Sky there in 13th. And the Brownie there in 14th. He is well back. I believe he must have gone into the pits to take his pit stop. So P1 Anti and Sky are both in the pits now as well. Anyway, lap 6. And the Extremely Dan is closing that gap gradually on him. So anyway, so the current fastest lap is Brian Mechanic with a 1:47.5. And Dan is closing that gap on That's Life gradually. And there's a Sai who can see Dan in the distance, but is not able to do anything about it. And you got the Rossi there behind him in 4th, chasing him down, but then he's got the Tidders there in 5th spot, chasing him down. And Tidders does have the faster tyre on here. He's got the medium tyres on, whereas the Rossi has the hard tyres on. Is the Tidders going to be able to make a move here? No, he's not able to, but he does close that gap on the Rossi a little bit. as they come down towards this corner here. We are roughly halfway through this race now. With the Rossi there in 5th, and then there's the Willard there in 6th spot. The Bry there in 7th, being chased by the Phaser in 8th. As they come through the bus stop chicane for the 7th time. And then you got the P1 there in 9th. He's just been in the pit, so he is going to be doing all he can to close that gap again now. Then the Nando there in 10th spot. He's being chased by the Kenny there, who's in 11th spot. And then there's the Hoggy there in 12th with a half-second penalty. I think Hoggy will be serving his penalty shortly. So he serves the penalty now. It's going to allow Sky to get past there. It's allowed, obviously, the Brownie to get away. But the Willard has now pitted. He is now coming out in 11th spot. He's now on the medium tyres, but he's behind Kenny in 10th. Let's go and have a look to see how they are doing. So that lap 8. That's Life is still leading the pack with the Dan there still in 2nd. He's so that's Life is on a 47.6 as fastest lap. Dan also, Dan has decided to go for the plunge. He has gone into the pits now, so has Sai. So now, because once Dan comes out and everyone else is pitted, he should retake 2nd spot. That's Life is going to be under a lot of pressure because he is going to be on the hard tyres. So Tidders is up to 2nd now. Bry's up to 3rd. Phaser's up to 4th. So they're now filling up Dan's tank. So will P1 get past the Jimmy Dan and get into 5th place he is at the moment. And Jimmy Dan just comes out of the pit just behind P1R. That's a shame there for Jimmy Dan. He would have been hoping to stay ahead of P1 here, but P1 has got past now. But now, because of where they both are, That's Life is going to be thinking, oh dear, because he's on mediums. He's going to have to pit soon. So he's going to be under a lot of... He is now pitting. So Tidders takes the lead for the time being. Yeah, that's that. Life, Bright and Fraser have all gone into the pits now. P1 and Dan have just come through the bus stop chicane. Now they're racing down towards the start finish line. Dan is right behind P1 here. Life is filling up. He's now on his way out. And he has come back. So obviously the Tidders is in the lead, but Life has come back out in second spot. They haven't, P1 and Dan have not been able to do enough to get ahead of him. But now these two are both on the mediums. They're both going to be gunning to catch That's Life. Because once Tidders goes into the pits, That's Life will retake the lead for the time being. I think That's Life's just got hope that Dan and P1 just keep racing each other, because that will slow their times down, because they'll be battling. I think it's that, yep. Is he gonna come? Yep. Tidders is going into the pits now. And then now, Life just coming through the bus stop chicane. With Dan and... Oh, Dan's got past P1 here through the bus stop chicane just before he got past. So now it's P1 in second. I mean, it's going to be Dan's third and P1 fourth, but P1's gone for going for a pass there side by side here. Tidders is just changing his tyres now. I'm going to start refueling. You guys are side by side. As they come through. The Tidders is coming. Oh, Tidders to come out just ahead of these two, but they've managed to get past him, so he's come out just... So Tidders have just come out just behind Dan and Auntie. So this is a three-way battle for second spot now. But Tidders is on the hard tyres, so he's going to be like this bigger disadvantage here, because the mediums are the faster tyre. And while all that's going on, you got the Nanda there in 5th spot, the Kenny there in 6th, the Side there in 7th, the Bride there in 8th, the Phaser there in 9th, the Sky there in 10th, the Willard there 11th, the Rossi 12th, the Hoggy 13th, and the Brownie 14th. It looks like the Sky might be closing down on the Phaser here. He got through the bus stop chicane so much better than the Phaser did, so he's able to make a move easily on Phaser on the inside. So the Sky's up to 9th. That was a nice move there from Sky. Took that position actually rather easily. Looks like the Bride got out the bus stop better than the Side did. But to come through into this corner. Oh! The Bride messed it up coming through the corner. That's going to push him all the way down, back down to 11th, 10th now, unfortunately. That's a shame there for the Bride. He was doing well there. So these guys are still battling it out. You got the Life there in first position still. But these guys are doing whatever they can to close that gap onto the life. He has got quite a decent, he does have quite a decent lead over Dan and Antti, and laps are running out. Left the Tidders there, he's dropped off from them two now. I think he's just decided to let them two go. And the Nanda there in fifth, he's being chased down by the Kenny. The Kenny is doing all he can to close that gap on the Nando. And Sai there in seventh, he's been chased by the Sky in eighth, the Phaser there in ninth, the Willard there in 10th, he's been chased down by the Bry in 11th, the Rossi there in 12th, been chased by the Hoggy 13th, and the Brownie there in 14th. So the Life still has the lead, lap 13, 2 more laps to go. With the Dan there in second, he's pulled away a bit. He pulled a little bit away from the P1 here, but it's anyone's game in this race. Currently on their laps, so Dan's fastest lap is a 47.627, and P1's is a 47.657. So only just a tiny bit quicker than P1 is Dan in this race. And there's not really much, they're not really making any mistakes here. That's Life is doing whatever he can to stay in the lead, where he will be very aware that Izumi Dan and P1 are chasing him down with Tidders there in fourth. Kenny has now got past the Loris there, or he might have already been ahead of the Loris, I'm not sure, I can't remember. As they come through these few turns. So the Loris is in sixth, the side there, he's sort of all on his own there in seventh. With the Sky there in 8th, being chased down by the Phaser in 9th. So you can see that gap between the Psy and the Psy and the Sky as they come through the bus stop chicane once again. So he's doing all he can to close the gap down the Sky. Then the Willard there in 10th, the Bride there 11th, the Hoggy 12th. So he's got past Rossi, who was in 12th, now he's dropped down to 13th. And then they've got a big gap to the Brownie there in 14th, I think. The Brownie made a bit of an error, bit of a mistake there that's allowed them to get through, but obviously anyway, so They are now on the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. That's life is led from the start, apart from obviously when he had to pit. He does have an Itsumi Dan and a P1R anti-wrist chasing him down. These two are battling it out hard. We're going to have to stay with this battle here because this is the biggest battle out of all of them. So P1 is trying to, he is right behind the Dan here as they're coming to the bus stop chicane. And the Dan manages to get past. He got out of the bus stop chicane better than, or did he? Because the P1 is closing that gap. That's life will come home to take the lead. Itsumi Dan takes second with the P1 in third. A great finish there. Tidger's fourth, Kenny fifth, Nando sixth, Sai seventh, Sky eighth, Willard ninth, Bry 10th, Hoggy 11th, Rossi 12th, Phaser 13th, and the Brownie will come home to finish 14th. Now thank you for watching round 3, race 2, sponsored by Pop Up and Co. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time where we will be in Croatia for the Dragon Tail Seaside. So bye bye for now.